continue on the same. It's a chicken running. They look so funny. They're so dorky looking when they run. They look like they're so desperate. I guess that really, really connects back to the video that I did before about running, about constantly running. It's just so funny looking. But I had something to say. I've just been sitting out here for the last half an hour or so, just watching the birds and just being. And I feel like right now, like I less want people in my life. It feels like more of a, like, right now I just feel like being with myself. I like people. I know I like people. But there's so many things that I want to do right now. I feel like I want to be with myself in my life, understand things. Um, I don't need a lot of new people. Well, I don't know. You know, who's to say? I can't say. There's no absolutes. There's no absolutes. But overall, I woke up this morning with this peace that I just feel like going inside of my cave. There's things that I want to learn. Um, I want to learn about tarot cards, and I feel like I'm uneducated. I feel like I want to create my own tarot cards, and I feel like I'm uneducated, and maybe it's different cards, maybe it's like oracle cards or something. But I just have this like feeling like that's what I want to do, and then all of a sudden I feel like that is perfect place to put my kind of art because my art is kind of funky. You know, it's the kind of art that it's funky. It has messages in it, and I feel like I want to write, and it also like would also encompass that into it, because my writing, um, I get like messages, and they're like short and precise, and I can clean them up with my words. I just feel like going inside, and I feel like nothing external can right now add, or well, not that, not add, that's way too, but my internal peace is from within, not from something outside. So I feel like I'm bored a lot with external, like, I guess I guess I've gotten to a point where I can just kind of see through everything, and it just kind of looks funny. Everything's a comedy slash annoying. So you see people that aren't being real, or that are doing things for agendas, or are coming at things sideways. And I think that a lot of times they don't even know that they're coming at it sideways. They are looking for a way of getting in, and they don't know how to do it, so they come at it kind of sideways with an agenda, or or a half truth, or a non-truth, or an excuse, or made up, and it's just kind of like watching. It's halfway comical, but it can be annoying because it's so obvious, and it's like even if you point it out, they won't admit it, so they fight against. So it's not even like you can't even play with the people with them that are like that. You can't even. There's nothing there to play because they won't admit it. And then sometimes people really surprise me with their honesty and their capability that once you poke your finger in their eye, or once you point something out, they'll go backwards and take a look inwards and say, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Or yeah, I see it, or whatever. But they're so far in between. The first instinct, I think, is to make excuses and fight against. And when you're fighting against, you're not actually opening yourself up to even seeing what it is. And those people are boring to me because they're not willing to do the inner work, and it's like spitting in the wind. It's like you give them something and it comes flying back at you like a spit in the wind. And then it's just like, okay, whatever, you can go and take your opinions elsewhere, please. You give somebody a gift and they kick it back in your face. And they don't even recognize it as a gift. They take it offensively, and those are people that won't do self-expansion, because every time that something that they do that is off course or out of nature, out of sync with the universe, is pointed out to them, and then they just fight against it instead of looking inward like, oh yeah, let me fix this for a minute, because who wants to live in error? It just causes pain. It's like cause and effect. If you could find a teacher that showed you all of the places, it's like, okay, it's like this. It's like this. Let's say, okay, it's like a Messiah. Okay, so the Messiah comes with a message, and the Messiah can see. Oh, my phone's going down, so pretty soon I'm going to go in. I'm going to meditate anyway. So it's like the Messiah can come and he can put a mirror up for you, right? Put a mirror up for you, and all of your places that are out of sync with cause and effect, with nature's cause and effect, can reflect back to you. But it's your job to go internally, ooh, I like this, and fix it, right? So the external Messiah, let's say, can come and reflect to you all of the places that you are out of sync, like a big mirror. You come up to the mirror and you start throwing stuff at it, and it reflects back to you all of the places that you're out of sync with cause and effect, with nature's way, with God, with your own internal, Lola, I'm over here, with your own internal being, or, where you're off. Now, you can either start taking it personally and spitting back at that mirror. It's like the spit in the wind thing, and prove your point, and oh, that's not true. I really am good, and start, backlashing, start lashing out, which is where most of humanity is, because they are defending their belief systems and what they believe to be true, and they get offended because they don't want people to think badly of them, so they fight against the truth, which just makes people think more badly of them. I mean, it's kind of like it's not only spitting in the wind, spitting out at the gift that you're getting, it's also spitting on yourself. Yeah, there's so much spit flying in this video. But it's going against yourself when somebody comes and gives you a gift, even if it's painful, where you're out of sync and you're not willing to take the lessons and you just fight against, you're doing your own self a disfavor, really. But it's difficult. A lot of times it's even difficult to see. Your first instinct is your ego instinct, is which, like, it's not true, I'm really good, you just don't see it. But then you go inward and you're like, okay, I see it, now let me fix this. and it's painful, and you're the only one that can fix it. I mean, somebody else can reflect it back to you, and we're all reflectors, mirrors. So somebody can reflect it back to you, but if you're not willing to fix it inside of yourself or willing to even look for it, which is where most of humanity is, they're just asleep. They're stuck in their ways, and they're not progressing and not growing and not expanding, or their expansion is very, very, very slow because they're not willing to feel the pain of not being right, basically. But the more you clean yourself out and use all these reflections of where you're out of sync, and it's simple, really, because it's an emotional thing. So whenever you feel like an emotional, you know that there's something in that space specifically where you need to go deep and let that feeling out. And you know, it's somewhere where you're out of sync. It's a place that you are out of, where something is off. Either it's something in your beliefs that is off, or something in your ways. But if you're feeling inside, that's a trigger. That's a place that you can do internal work. So, okay, so let's sum all that up into one little thing. So I guess, and I truly, truly believe that the Messiah is here, and that I know him personally, and that I am being saved, and I think I feel like I am extremely, extremely, extremely blessed, and not only blessed externally to have met the Messiah and be able to get the mirrors and the reflections back, but also I feel blessed in my personality and the person that I am to be able to lower my ego enough to take the lessons and do the internal work, and because it's a freaking painful process. It is so painful. You have to go deep. I've gotten to the dragons. Well, the dragon, sheesh, sheesh. But I feel like I've laid down all my arms, like making peace with the dragon. I started drawing the dragon, and at first I was drawing like slaying the dragon. But now I feel like it's not slaying the dragon, it's embracing the dragon because the dragon's there. It's like using the dragon for your own strength. And so this drawing that I'm doing is a continuation, and I realize also that all my writings, I need to sit down. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready, that I can actually put something out that is whole. Okay, well, I'm going to turn this off unless I find that I have something else that I want to share. And I've been going to the Mayinot Chamim, which is like the hot water springs. And I feel like every time I go there, there's something magical about the place. It's like a cleansing. The water is coming out from, it stinks a little bit, but I'm learning to love the smell. But I still smell like it, like days later. But I'm starting to feel like it's a place, like it's a magical place. Every time I go there, it's like there's mystery. I also feel like the water cleanses me or something, and it seems like every time I go there, the next day I wake up different. And the thing is that I'm drawn there. It's like something in me pulls me, like, ooh, you need to go, you need to go. I love my morning eyes. Beautiful. There's a beauty at every stage. Beautiful. Okay, I'm done.